your home, it's your dream. Radon test and keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green starts from the ground up, so make sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Test your home for the presence of radon. Go to epa.gov/radon.
Make it green, green, green.
Hey there, I'm Emily Russell, and I'm coming to you from downtown Monroe's second annual Winterfest. We're out here today enjoying snow tubing, bounce houses, marshmallow roasting, and a penguin scavenger hunt through downtown Monroe. We're just so honored that the city lets us put on this event and the county lets us use the property to have a great time during January to get everybody out and about. Since we haven't had any winter weather here in Walton County this season just yet, we decided to bring our own. So that's why we have our snow slide. It's a pretty good little drop. It's about a 20 to 30 foot drop off the top of the snow slide, and then you just slide all the way down till you stop. So we're happy to bring you Winterfest 2013. So you guys are all here because you heard about our lovely lecture on the Makoplasty procedure. Now this is a new state-of-the-art technology, and we're one of the very few hospitals in the state of Georgia that actually have this equipment and are able to do this procedure. So we have Dr. Shane Smith with us here today of Athens Orthopedic, and he is one of our few surgeons that is trained on the Makoplasty procedure and kind of an expert on it. So he's going to be explaining kind of how it works, some of the benefits of it, so maybe you can learn a little bit more and find out if you're a candidate or not. So I will turn it over to you, Dr. Smith.
Good. Thank you. All right. Can we shut the door?
Yep, go ahead. Go for it.
No one extremely claustrophobic, I hope. Okay, good. Room's kind of tiny. That's right. Well, if I say something y'all don't like, y'all can all attack me and I can't go anywhere. So I appreciate you guys coming and taking your time out. This is a very unique procedure that we're very happy that we can start to offer our patients. The actual procedure we're doing is partial knee replacement surgery, and so that's been a surgery that we've been doing for a long time. The problem is with partial knee replacements that have been done in the past. Have been that the lifespan of those replacements have not been very long. And so the idea behind this particular technology is that we can improve how we do the surgery, and using the robotic technology and so forth that we'll talk about in just a minute allows us to do that. So we'll kind of just run through some preliminary stuff. We're, as Emily said, I'm a partner at Athens Orthopedic Clinic. I've been practicing here in the area for about five or 6 years here, and certainly very excited about the hospital and some of the new technology that they've brought here with the opening of the new facility. We have also our clinical faculty at University of Georgia, the new medical school over in Athens, as well as one of the medical schools out of Atlanta, which is an osteopathic medical school, the Philadelphia College. So this is the talk. Walk away from knee pain with Makoplasty. The idea behind the Makoplasty is it's knee surgery using surgeon-controlled robotic arm technology. I always find it funny. I normally get at least one question during these talks about, well, Doc, you know, you're talking about this robotic arm technology, and does that mean you schedule the patient for surgery and they come in and have the surgery while you go play golf?
Right.
And that's not the answer. Right? It's surgeon-controlled robotics. So, all right. So first thing, we'll do a few things, just introductory things to talk about kind of what arthritis is and some basic information. We hear about osteoarthritis, but sometimes it gets confused with the other types of arthritis that we can run into. Osteoarthritis is the type of arthritis. It's the wear and tear arthritis. That's when you get too much tread worn off your tires, and it's just from the amount of miles that we put on our joints. Compare that to, say, like a rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is more of a systemic problem where our joints kind of attack themselves. The osteoarthritis is the wear and tear arthritis. It's a degenerative condition that causes cartilage found on healthy joints to break down. The most common form of arthritis and a leading cause of disability worldwide, according to our academy. 46% of people will develop knee arthritis over their lifetime. So the chances are you or the person sitting next to you in this room have had arthritis. Certainly and you can, most everybody can name a family member that's been affected by arthritis. Very, very common. There are different stages of arthritis. You know, when I tell someone that they have arthritis, they come in to see me, Doc, my knee's been hurting. We get some X-rays, and I look at them, and we see that that they have arthritis. We oftentimes have to grade that arthritis. Not all arthritis is severe. Not all arthritis is mild. Sometimes it's in between. But we have different stages. Typically, the early stage arthritis is what we would consider mild disease. And a lot of times that occurs with sports-related injuries, and there are minor defects or minor areas of loss of cartilage. The mid-stage arthritis, or what we classify as moderate disease, oftentimes you see increasing pain, reduced mobility, which basically means you lose range of motion, changes to your lifestyle, inability to do the things you enjoy, golf, tennis, whatever the case may be. Maybe just walking can be affected. We oftentimes refer that also as partial knee disease, where it only affects a portion of the knee, which is kind of what we're going to steer our conversation to here in just a few minutes. Then we have the late stage disease, where it's severe, and that basically means the entire knee is affected by arthritis. You have knee basically all throughout or arthritis all throughout the knee joint. It's a significant cause of disability, severe pain. Walking and stair climbing are often challenging. Oftentimes you can just have pain at rest that is bothersome. And this is oftentimes referred to as total knee disease. It's these patients in the last category that we're talking about that oftentimes need the total knee replacement, which is something we won't get into too much today, but it is important to compare what's appropriate in given situations. So our treatments, typically, I always tell my patients, I try to treat all of my patients no different than I would treat my wife or my mother or my dad, and try to save surgery for the last resort if we can. And in that comes, you know, things that we can do that are important: weight loss, anti-inflammatory medications, exercise programs, changes in certain activities, and we typically try to reserve surgery for those patients who are unresponsive to conservative treatments. There are a spectrum of different surgical options, and it really just depends on how advanced the arthritis is. We have this MIS stands for minimally invasive surgery, and arthroscopy is a very common surgery that I do a lot of times for patients that are having pain or buckling in their knee, but they don't really have a ton of arthritis, and they may have had a torn cartilage in the knee. Certainly a knee scope is a great procedure to do. Then we talk about, well, what if you have more advanced arthritis and you get to the early to mid-stage arthritis? What are our options? Certainly partial knee replacement surgery is one of the options that we have available to us now. Total knee arthroplasty, which has been around a long time, is a great option. Still, a lot of patients that have this surgery done do really, really well. The problem is that that you're doing the entire knee, whether or not you have arthritis in the entire knee. When you get a total knee replacement, the entire knee is replaced. So if you have healthy cartilage, healthy ligaments that are in there, those are sacrificed to get the total knee replacement in. The difference, when you compare that to partial knee replacement, basically you're preserving the healthy cartilage and replacing only the part that is arthritic. If I cover something or anyone has any questions at any point in time, this is meant to be very informal. I welcome questions at any point in time. If you'll just stop me, raise your hand, and I'll be happy to answer as we go along. We'll also have time, too, at the end to answer any other questions as well. Yes, sir?
I got one. On my knee, if I sit down and completely collapse that knee, it'll catch. Because I kind of twist it a little bit and clear up. That's the only time it ever bothers me. Is that
and we'll talk about some of that here in a little bit, but those are the symptoms that I'm talking about. Sometimes can be just torn cartilage in the knee. It may not be severe arthritis. It may be. Obviously, you would need to get x-rays and have it looked at, but if it's something that's just torn cartilage, obviously that can be taken care of with a very simple procedure. You go in and scope the knee, get the torn cartilage taken care of. It may not need the more advanced surgeries that we're talking about. So for total knee arthroplasty for advanced arthritis, total knee replacement, we would consider that the gold standard of treatment of arthritis. And that basically means that's what we've been doing the longest. That's what we know has the long-term good outcome based on patients that have severe arthritis. It's one of the most successful procedures that we do in orthopedic surgery. Long-term survivorship out at 15 years is about 90%, which is outstanding. Limitations, however, it's very invasive. It's a major surgery. Requires extensive rehab. I usually tell my patients to anticipate about 4 to 6 months of recovery time for a knee replacement, and really it takes oftentimes about a year before you really can say, you know what, this knee replacement that I had finally feels like my own knee again. And so it's an extensive period of time. And one of the things that I just talked to you about is that, you know, when you're doing a total knee replacement, you go in and you're removing a lot of tissue that oftentimes is healthy. And of course, as a surgeon, I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, man, I hate to get rid of this good healthy cartilage, although that's part of what you do in a total knee replacement. And that's where, in certain cases that the arthritis is isolated, that's where a partial knee replacement is a benefit. There was a study done out of Duke that what was interesting, talking about all these limitations, 88 to 92% of women and men respectively decline hip or knee replacement surgery when offered. And a lot of it has to do with the limitations. I mean, when I tell someone, hey, you know, really the only option is to talk about total knee replacement, well, doc, what am I looking at? Well, you're looking at possibly a year of downtime or not just quite feeling right, or a major surgery that's going to put you in the hospital for a few days. It certainly has that, you get that sensation that that's not something I just want to do right now, you know, and that's what most people feel. And so that was an interesting study that they showed that. So now when we get back to talking about the partial knee surgery, when you have isolated arthritis, the partial knee replacement is a good option because it goes to the source of the problem. You can preserve the cartilage and the healthy cartilage and the healthy ligaments and structures in the knee that you would otherwise sacrifice in a total knee replacement. So with a partial knee replacement, it only targets the diseased portion of the knee. It's less invasive than total knee surgery. And the challenges have been that optimal implant positioning and alignment are very, very challenging. And that's why this surgery has been around a long time. We've actually been doing this particular surgery a long time. The problem has been this third comment right here. Optimal implant positioning and alignment are challenging. The reason they're challenging is because everyone's anatomy is different. And these typical protocols call for us putting the components in after you've burned a certain amount of bone away. You replace that amount of bone with a component or a metal or plastic. And oftentimes positioning these are inaccurate relative from this person to this person, okay? So what we have been able to do is incorporate the individual's anatomy, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But if you compare how many partial knee replacements were done in 2009, there were only 52,000 done in the United States, compared to 600,000 total knee replacements. And which brings to my attention, and most orthopedic surgeons who care about this stuff, you know, it makes me wonder, well, are we doing too many total knee replacements? And are we, because I see it, you know, all the time when I'm, in doing certain surgeries, there are cases that I'm thinking, well, you know, going in, maybe this person was a good candidate for a total knee replacement, but then after I'm looking at their knee, heck, they may have done just as well with a partial. And so those are the things that we as orthopedic surgeons have been trying to sort out. And this technology has really kind of helped me in my practice, and I know a lot of my colleagues kind of fill in the gap there of patients who may not need a total knee replacement, but we've got a good option now for the partial knee replacements. So the idea behind this technology is it's a partial knee resurfacing that's minimally invasive, certainly smaller incision, certainly a shorter recovery time. The hospital stay is you go home the next day. We keep our patients overnight and then you're home the next day. It's using the surgeon-controlled robotic arm system. It enables more accurate resurfacing based on the individual's need. We get, if I have a patient that's a candidate for this, I will send them for a CT scan, special CT scan that we do here at the hospital. It gets plugged into the computer system that helps us run the robot, and we map that procedure based on your need. And so it's very patient specific. And the idea is that it can be performed on any of the different locations in the knee. We usually isolate it to 2 or less compartments. For example, we have 3 compartments in our knees. We have a medial compartment, which if you all look at your knees, it's on the inside part of your knee. We have a lateral compartment that's on the outside part of the knee. And then we have a patellofemoral compartment, which is right underneath the kneecap. And you can have arthritis in any of those locations. If you have arthritis in all 3 locations, then you need a total knee replacement. Okay? If you have arthritis that's isolated to 2 or less of those compartments, then this is a good option. Okay? And the way that we find those things out is we can get x-rays. A lot of times we can see what we need to with x-rays. Oftentimes if I've got a patient like yourself with a knee that buckles and pops, a lot of times we'll get an MRI, which can be very helpful in determining that. And then oftentimes I will end up scoping, going in with a scope on a lot of my patients, not only to help with the symptoms. A scope can be a very helpful procedure. It can buy you a lot of time before you need anything done. But it also gives me some diagnostic information. I'm actually looking with my own eyes at your knee. Where's the arthritis? Where is it not? That way we've got a good plan. If the knee scope doesn't do the trick for us, we know what exactly we need to do at that point thereafter. Yes, sir.
Dr. Smith, on this partial replacement, what if you have that done? What's the limit before you get back normal and all that stuff?
Usually it's about 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, I've had the last 2 patients I did. I just saw them today in office. They are back to work. Both of them are back to work in 2 weeks. So and they're up and active individuals. One of them works for the city. So so it depends. I would tell you each individual is different. But for the most part, it's a lot shorter recovery time before you're getting back doing your normal stuff. I usually will tell you at least 2 weeks to allow that incision to heal and for your healing to occur. Most likely 4 to 6 weeks is a good estimate there. So when we're talking about where this partial replacement can occur, it can occur in any of those compartments and up to 2. Such as a medial and patellofemoral. This is the inside part of the knee, and then this is underneath the kneecap. This is the robot. And what I'll do is kind of point out to you what I'm looking at in surgery. The robot itself is this here. The monitors that we're looking at, that I'm looking at as the surgeon, the monitor in the back here. The computer system here is run by one of the technical engineers that program the CT scan and incorporate that image into what we're doing on the robot, with the robot. So the CT scan is plugged into this computer system, and we, prior to surgery, prior to you going to sleep with your anesthesia, I know, and the engineer already knows what your knee is going to need based on what your CT scan showed me. So it gives us a significant advantage of our anatomy and the component positioning, because what we've seen over the years, like I said, this particular surgery has been around a long time. Doing partial knee replacements is not anything new. It's just how we've done them in the past have often led to early failures because we can't get the components just like the way they need to be relative to an individual's anatomy. Sometimes we get lucky and we get it in the right spot and they do great. But sometimes if you don't get the position just right, they can fail at a very early stage, within 5 years sometimes. So what this technology allows us to do is get that within 98.8% accurate. So that basically means that instead of just tossing a dice or tossing a coin and we're getting it right 50% of the time, we're getting it right almost 100% of the time, based on what your anatomy shows us on the CT scan. So it's increased our accuracy with how well we do these surgeries. I always tell my patients, you know, this is not a surgery we've been doing that's new. We've been doing the surgery for a long time. This technology just allows us to do the surgery better.
At my office in recent months about trash on the side of the road, but we did have a letter that came in to the chairman's office, concern of a citizen here about our roadsides, and I just wanted to share a little bit of information with you all about how we work here at Keep Walton Beautiful. We don't just have people that go out and pick up trash. We don't have people employed to do that. We work through volunteers. That's what I work through with my program here with volunteers, and we do have an Adopt a County Road program where people can adopt a road through the county, and we have that information here, and it's also on our website. Now, the state of Georgia has kind of put a moratorium on the Adopt a Highway program. We do have 2 or 3 active groups still on the Adopt a Highway program, but they are going through a lawsuit, and they have decided not to do any more Adopt a Highway programs at this point in time. So with the constraints on their budget, they don't have a lot of money, I guess you might say, to just hire people to go out and pick up the road. The same people that you see picking up on highways are the same workers that do the other jobs that are needed by the Department of Transportation. So personal responsibility is a must with litter. I mean, it's never going to go away. There are going to always be people who don't care, and we do everything we can here to try to educate and let people know that we are here. We're trying to get in, you know, talk to school children, any kind of civic groups. There are just some people that don't care one way or the other, and they're always going to be there, and I hate that. But with that, it is what it is, and we have a wonderful sheriff's department, and we have judges that help enforce when people are spotted littering, but sometimes it's hard to catch them. We have people here in the county that if they do find a bag of trash or something like that, if they find any kind of identifying information, then they do get with the person that littered. And we also have these little cards that are available that if a citizen spots somebody littering, they can actually send that card or get it to the sheriff's department, and Sheriff Chapman will write the person who littered a letter. Now, he doesn't arrest them, but it does, I would think, get one's attention. I know it would get mine if I got a letter from the sheriff saying that somebody saw me littering. So I just kind of wanted to say that because it's a struggle, and we really do try very hard. And personally, I think, you know, our county looks better than some of the counties around us, and I've actually had some compliments recently. I will say one other thing about litter. In winter months, it's always worse because it's more visible, and the weather's worse. And when we use our sheriff has a highway detail that they get out and pick up roads, and our public works department supervises community service workers that are sentenced through the court system to pick up trash, but they can't do that when there's inclement weather. So in winter months, you're just going to see it a little bit more frequently. But anyway, I hope that I've explained this a little bit, and if anybody has any questions about it or concerns that they want to share, or even any ideas, we're all up for new ideas, and we're always ready to have new volunteers work with us on our educational programs. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great week.
Good morning. I'm Becky Chinhall, Radon Educator with the University of Georgia. January is National Radon Action Month, and this month I've decided to show you some common misconceptions that a lot of people have about radon in their home. And my good friend Molly is going to help me with this. We're going to show you several different examples of how many people think they can get rid of radon in their home. And then I'm going to talk to you and tell you if any of these methods would really work and how you can get rid of high levels of radon in your home. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. That's why we're concerned about it. And that's why we're going to have this special presentation this morning. Thank you. Molly, what are you doing? Are you hot?
No, Becky, there's this odor in my house, and I don't know what it is, and so I heard you talking about radon, so I just know it's radon, and I'm trying to get rid of it, and I think the fan will help get rid of the radon.
You're trying to blow the radon away with a fan?
Yes, and won't that work?
No, I'm sorry. The fan cannot get rid of radon in your house.
Really? That's terrible, because I thought that would be a simple way to get rid of it.
Molly, what are you doing with the vacuum cleaner?
Well, Becky, you said that radon is a gas, and it comes from the ground, and it comes through the floor. So I decided that if I vacuumed my floor, I could get rid of the radon that way. Can I?
No, Molly, I'm sorry. You can't vacuum up radon gas. Radon's a radioactive gas. The vacuum cleaner is only going to stir up some dust. We can't get rid of the radon that way.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll think of something else then.
Molly, what are you doing?
Becky, I'm trying to open the window. I'm trying to open this window to let the radon out. I am so scared about this radon you keep talking about. So I think if I open my window, it will help.
Molly, it will help some, but it's freezing outside today. Are you going to be able to leave your window open 24/7 in this cold, freezing weather?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's not a practical solution.
Oh, it's not?
No. Opening the window is only temporary.
Well, I hope you have some good fixes for me.
Hello, Molly. What are you doing with a mask on in your home?
Well, Becky, you said we breathe radon, and so I put this mask on so that I don't breathe the radon. Won't that help?
Well, I'm sorry you're worried about breathing the radon gas in your home. That's not going to work though. That dust mask does not get rid of radon. Radon's radioactive.
Well, Becky, then how do I get rid of radon gas in my home? Please let me know the correct things I need to do.
Well, Molly, I'm so glad you asked. So many people are concerned about the radon in their home, and they don't know what to do to check and see if they have high radon. So the first thing you need to do, Molly, is get a radon test kit at the extension office.
Okay.
These are for sale here at the extension office, and they're only $8. You hang one of these in your home, and you test your home for radon. Then you know if you have a radon problem or not. If your radon level is high, you need to do something about it. So let's assume that you tested your house, and your test result came back high. Opening your windows is usually only a short-term solution. Having a fan running is not going to get rid of radon in your house. But let me tell you how. I would suggest you contact one of our radon mitigators. There are about a dozen in Georgia. And what they do is drill a 3 or 4 inch round hole through the foundation, run a pipe up with a fan, and this fan pulls the air from underneath the home, blows it out above the roof. And that takes care of the problem, and it's a one-time fix. You don't have to keep worrying about it and being concerned about it afterwards. The bad news is about radon is it causes lung cancer, and it's very, very real. The good news is you can have your home fixed if it's high. The national average is 1 out of 15 homes will come back high. So chances are your home is not, but you're doing the right thing when you test. And I want to thank Molly so much for helping create a greater radon awareness during January, and for helping show you these situations that are a lot of misconceptions that people have about radon. And now we know the real way to get rid of it. Come see me at the Walton County Extension Office and pick up your radon test kit today.
Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of The Health Story. My name is Dee Dee Harris. I'm the Executive Director of Walton Wellness, a nonprofit located here in Walton County dedicated to the prevention of lifestyle-related chronic illness, focusing on heart disease and diabetes. Each week I like to bring some type of important information to you that has something to do with your health or the health of your children or your family or loved ones that you can pass along. And I can't let this season go by without talking a little bit about the flu. You have to have heard about the flu. It's on every news, radio news show, TV news show. You can't look at a newspaper or anything without seeing the flu statistics, which actually is larger this year than it has been in the past several years. And we are hearing a lot more about hospitalizations and just more illness altogether. And a lot of people are saying, you know, why is this? Because I got a flu shot, or, you know, there are so many flu shots available. Why is it that we're still getting so much of the flu? And one of the things that I want to stress is that it is still very important to get that flu shot. I know you've heard it and you think, well, what's the flu shot doing? Why are all these people that get the flu shot still having the flu? The thing of it is that the vaccine is not 100%. Just like any vaccine, and I've talked to you about other vaccines on this program before, the flu shot is not 100% going to keep you from getting the flu. But what it will do is it will make, if you do get the flu, then it will help you to have a much milder case of the flu. And I can attest to that personally. My daughter, who did have, she did not have the flu shot, she actually had the nasal swab, or the nasal spray for the flu vaccine. And she did end up getting the flu, but she had a much milder case. Her fever was very low grade. She had a little bit of sniffling and just not feeling good for a couple of days, but nothing that alarmed me to the point that I even thought that I should take her to the doctor, or that we would need to go to the emergency room. And I had seen the doctor after that and told her about the symptoms, and she said yes, that, you know, that was more than likely the flu. However, because she had received the vaccine, we did not have a really horrible case. And also my son had received the vaccine, and he, obviously we're all in the house together over the holidays and stuff, and he has not contracted the flu from her. So that, again, that vaccine just helped give him the benefit of hoping not to contract the flu, even though someone in the house had it. So it still is very important to get the flu vaccine. And other than just getting the vaccine, and I say this a lot, and I know you probably get sick of hearing me, but washing your hands. So important. It sounds so simple and so easy, and I know you've heard it from other places as well, but still, washing your hands is the best way that you can prevent yourself from not just the flu, but just all the illnesses that are going around. I know you've heard about, there's lots of viruses out there, stomach, digestive viruses, as well as the flu happening too. During this time, because we're all shut up together because of weather and it's the winter season, although it doesn't feel like it outside, that tends to make us, since we're in closer quarters, that tends to make infections and viruses and stuff spread a lot easier. So washing your hands is just such a key prevention strategy, and even though it just seems so simple, you hear doctors say, or you hear professionals say, you know, sing the birthday song twice. And that is true. You should try to go by those recommendations. But what I say is it's most important to rub your hands together. As a matter of fact, the rubbing of your hands is more important than even using soap. So even if you're somewhere that you don't have any soap available, but you can rub your hands under some water, or if you're using that gel, that the antibacterial gel or whatever, really rubbing your hands when you put that on there. Don't just rely on the gel or the soap or whatever to kill off. It's really the rubbing of your hands that's very important when washing them. So you want to make sure to really rub your hands and teach your children to really rub their hands as well. And it's just something to think, every time you think about it, wash your hands. As we're going through our daily lives right now, we're touching doorknobs, we're going into public places where people have sneezed or wiped their nose or whatever, and then they touch the doorknob. So we're spreading germs a lot more than just within our home. Obviously, we're being exposed all around where we go. So just remember, washing your hands, and it still is very important to get the flu shot. It's not too late, even though I did do some research just this morning looking at the flu numbers, and they are saying that they do seem to be declining a bit from last week. So the hope is that we have now passed the peak of the flu season, hopefully. No guarantee, but they are thinking that maybe we've passed the peak and we kind of are on the downhill slide at this point. But if you haven't had a flu shot, you know, can't hurt you. At least go and get one so that you're protected from here on out. And again, just a reminder about washing your hands and making sure your children are washing their hands, especially when they get home from school. If you have school-aged children, as soon as they get home from school, try to get them to wash their hands. Obviously, they're not able to do it all during the day. As usual, if you have any questions or concerns, you want to get in touch with us, you can find us on the web at www.waltonwellness.org. Our contact information is on there. You can always reach me the old-fashioned way by phone, which is 770-313-8107. Thank you for watching.
Hey, I'm Isaac with Reboot Computer Company, and we're going to do the Reboot Tech Tip. We're going to talk a little bit today about security. Lots of security issues going on. As of late, we've got a big one right now that was in the news about Java. A lot of people don't know what Java is. It's basically it's a programming language that's used on computers, websites, cell phones, all these little Blu-ray players, DVD players. A lot of this stuff all uses Java. So it's necessary in everyday life of computers. You know, the thing that has happened recently is that some hackers have figured out how to exploit the Java and go into computers or whatever, you know, whatever this Java is on, and do pretty much whatever they want to. So it's kind of like a hole that they've drilled through to get to your computer or whoever's. You know, so it's not like you can just get rid of Java. You've got to have it. You know, the biggest thing to help with that Java issue right now is to make sure your Java is updated. Java will come out with an update maybe once a month or something like that. You know, you use that update every single time. You've got to have it. Otherwise, you're exposed, you know, to some kind of security issue. You know, there's another thing that happened recently in the news was that Zaxby's franchising, it wasn't actually Zaxby's franchising, it was a bunch of franchises that were hacked into, and credit card numbers were stolen, and it was a big deal on the news, and I believe it was close to 100 or 200 Zaxby's that got affected, and some here locally actually. Not the one in Monroe, but I know Conyers and some surrounding cities were breached there. You know, there's not a whole lot, you know, us as consumers can do, you know, pay with cash. You know, luckily a lot of times when things like that happen, it's not, the consumer doesn't get the backlash from that. Basically, it's not the consumer's fault. You know, the credit card company either takes the hit from it, or, you know, Zaxby's would take the hit from it. You know, but it always leads to higher rates, or, you know, price increases or whatever. You know, the key thing here again is, you know, security is key. You know, have antivirus stuff, have a firewall. Windows itself that everybody uses pretty much on their computer has a firewall built into it. The firewall is just designed so people can't come into your computer whenever they want. Always make sure that thing is turned on. It's in the control panel under the little security icon, or on some versions of Windows, I think it's actually under Windows Firewall. Your antivirus will also have a firewall. Make sure it's turned on. You know, you can do several different things. If you have a business, you can actually buy a little box that is basically a physical firewall that you can install on your network, so nobody, you know, it's just another security measure so nobody can come in and, you know, steal credit cards or information, bank information, whatever the case is. Take a look at your QuickBooks or whatever they want to do. You know, the key thing here is that if you are plugged into the internet, then you're not real safe. You've got to do everything you can to make sure nobody can get into your stuff. You know, another thing you can do is change your passwords frequently. You like your network passwords. If you have wireless, you know, change it once a month is a good idea. Bank accounts, if you do banking and stuff online, change that stuff, those passwords once a month. So a lot of times what these guys will do is they'll find an account or whatever, and they'll run this program, and it just does all the passwords that anybody has ever done. It may take them a month, but eventually they can beat through it. You know, so it's smart to always change your stuff. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but, you know, have some security. You know, call a computer company, you know, have them come out, check out your business if you have one. You know, make sure you're secure. There's lots of stuff that can be done. But anyway, this is Isaac Rose from Reboot Computer Company, and that's the Reboot Tech Tip.
Hello, this is Jody Johnson here with the Recreation Report. We're happy to announce our basketball season has been going off without a hitch, and we are going to start our end of the season basketball tournament January 26th. At all our gyms, we'll play. All the teams are included in this end of the season tournament, and it creates a lot of energy for these teams to play throughout, and to see who the county champion is in each one of our age groups, from age 7 and 8 all the way up to our 15 through 18-year-old program. So that is coming to a head here pretty soon. So good luck to all our youth basketball programs. We will be selecting our all-star teams that will represent Walton County in our Class A Georgia Recreation and Parks Tournament, and that tournament will be February 23rd. We're going to host part of that tournament here in Walton County. The 11 and 12 boys and girls will be up at our Meridian Park Community Center, and the others will be traveling to some other areas in Henry County or DeKalb County. So also good luck to those teams coming up. Our baseball registration, baseball, softball, soccer, and track, all those registrations are complete. There may be a few spots open, so if you didn't get signed up, go to your local office and try to fill in some of those spots. As the spaces are available, we will add. We have our evaluations and team selections coming up real soon, so if you are planning on playing one of those spring sports, you'll need to contact someone very, very quickly. I also want to let you know that it's now only $42 per family to join our community centers, and that's now through July 1st. So it's a great deal, about the price that you'd pay for 1 month's membership. You'll be a member all the way through July. And that gives you access to all of our novice equipment, our treadmills, ellipticals, our 1/16 mile walking track. It gives you discounted program classes, which are yoga and dance and kickboxing and just all kind of programs that we have to offer. So the weather's bad outside right now, but it's nice and warm on the inside. You can get some good exercise in. I also want to remind you about our passive parks. A lot of people think that we just have the big parks and we just do the athletics, but we don't. We actually have 5 other passive parks that we've built all throughout the county, and they include Rabbit Farm Park, which is on the northwest side of the county. Bold Springs, Jersey, Gratis, and Good Hope. All these parks have nice large playgrounds, pavilions, areas to play, and they're just good places to spread out through the county. They do not have bathrooms, but they do have the pavilions. We also have pavilions at Hammond, Matthews, Felker, South Walton, Meridian, West Walton. We have about 15 total pavilions that you are able to utilize throughout the county. To reserve those pavilions, it costs $30 to reserve it for birthday parties, reunions, or anything like that. So, and you can do that at any one of our community centers at Felker Park or at Meridian Park, or you can go by any of our offices and they can reserve those pavilions for you. I just wanted to bring that up because we do have a lot of people that utilize those throughout the summer, and they do book up fairly quickly. So if you're interested in renting that, you can also go to our website at www.waltoncountyga.gov for more information about all the programs that we offer and the parks near you. I also wanted to talk today about some of the programs that are offered in the county. I have Glenn Blair here with the County Extension Office, who provides some of the recreation sports that we don't provide. A lot of people are very interested in outdoor recreation, and Glenn, they do a great job with some of these programs. So I'm going to hand it over to Glenn to talk a little bit about some of those outdoor programs that he offers.
Hi, Jody. Some of the things that we have to offer is if you're in the 5th grade through the 8th grade, they can do BB rifle competition, and that is just now starting. Starts in January and runs through April. And that program, they shoot BB rifles at 5 meters, and our team has been very competitive in that contest. They've been to the national contest, which is in Arkansas, the last 3 years. And then we have archery competition that we have in 4-H, where they can shoot several different types of bow, and that is practicing now. We have our indoor match that's coming up February the 23rd, and then we have an outdoor match that is in the first weekend in May. And if you want to get into something a little louder, we have our shotgun skeet shooting, and they practice every Sunday afternoon, and that you can start when you're in the 7th grade through the 12th grade, and we have about 45 or 50 young people that's shooting on our shotgun team. We're also starting the air rifle, is the CO2 air rifle competition. We're going to start a team of that, and but we have all of these shooting sports that our 4-Hers can get involved in, and if you're interested in any of these programs, you can call us at the Walton County Extension Office, and that number is 770-267-1324.
Yeah, that's really great, Glenn, that you're able to offer those type programs right here in Walton County, where we still have a lot of people that like to hunt, fish, and do those outdoor sports. What are some of the costs that are associated with those type programs? Are they really expensive?
No, well, I guess expensive is relative. But the BB, you can get into the BB competition. For the fees on that are $25 for the season, and that covers the entry fees in the competition and the targets and the BBs. And for archery, it's $100 for the season, and that covers the entry fees and the targets, and then you have to have your own equipment, your bow and arrows. For shotgun, it's $125, and then you furnish your own shells except for the competition, and we do furnish shells and the registration for the competitions.
Yeah, and that is great. Those are very affordable, and you'll have some people out there that'll help you improve your skills. You know, if you have a child that you're not quite sure how to teach how to shoot a bow and arrow, y'all have somebody there that gives some good instruction,
right?
Along with the shotgun and it's a good way to start. You can see the progression that they've taken with the younger kids with the BBs, and I'm amazed at the number of people across the state, not just in our area. When y'all host these meetings, and y'all are normally the ones that host that, we have a great facility out at the Ag Center where they have some of the local meets, and it's a great place to go and learn not only the safety that it takes to operate those type things, because it is in a very safe manner that y'all utilize them, but it's in a group effort and a competition.
Right. That's what our program is called, is SAFE, S-A-F-E, and it stands for Shooting Awareness Fundamental Education, and safety is the first thing that we look at, and we do.
Y'all do the hunter safety course as well?
They have to do the hunter safety before they can go to a match.
And that's done online, or?
They can do it online, and then we have so many people that go through this. We have about 125 young people every year that compete in these contests, and they will actually put on a hunter safety program for us if we get several people together.
Well, that's certainly great. And again, as you know, Walton County Parks and Recreation offers an array of programs, and it's always glad to see that our county extension is working just as diligently to put on those programs that most counties aren't able to offer. So we appreciate all y'all do for Walton County, and if you have any information, we'll put a link on our website that will help you find that information. You can call us, and we'll put you in touch with them if you need to. So thanks again for coming and sharing with us those programs. And until next time, thank you very much.
Hello, Walton County. This is Kevin Littlewood, Chairman's Report on Walton Entertainment, Channel 16. I think I told you last time Happy New Year, but if you didn't get to see it, I want to wish you Happy New Year again. 2013 is here, and we're full-fledged running in the county, and everything's going pretty well. We had our audit report last week, which a report on the finances and the financial structure of what went on the previous year. We had a great audit. They had only 2 little small findings, which was no problem there, but the biggest deal was that we had over $20 million in fund balance. That's exciting to have in these tough economic times that we've had the last several years, and to come in with that dollar amount is really good. I talked with finance earlier this week. I'm hoping that we'll be able to give tax breaks this year as we go forward as building our budget. If revenues will continue to be whole where they are, the big 2006 splash burden that's been upon us for the last several years has gone away, and so now's the time that I hope we can be able to give some dollar discounts back to you, the taxpayers, who've endured it with us through this tough times. We haven't had to have the layoffs or the furloughs like other counties have. We never grew big government in Walton County, and so we have enough people to get you the services that you demand, and but as far as anybody laying around not having anything to do, we don't have those in Walton County. We want to provide the best service here for you. Constitutional officers are very respectful of your money as well. They've been very, very good, and they all spend your money very wisely. Our courts, our judges, DA, sheriff, we just all kind of feel at home in Walton County, and we want to make sure that your dollar is spent wisely and not wasted. And I very seldom get any complaints on anything. So as we press on here in 2013, we hope that 2013 will be as good as 2012 was. Like I said, we don't have the burden of the splice. We do have a new splice, so we do need you to go out and buy as much as you can in Walton County and keep that tax dollar at home. We are not bonding it out this time, and it's a pay-as-you-go. And so, but we need you to purchase anything here, you know, Loganville, Social Circle, Walnut Grove, Monroe area. You know, try to keep everything within the county because it all benefits us as we head on into the 2013 year. If you have any questions or concerns, please give me a call, 770-267-1316. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for tuning in today. We're going to show you some of the dogs and cats here at Walton County Animal Control. You know, it's a nasty January day, but you know what? You can still come down and adopt a dog or cat. It's winter time. We sometimes slow down, but this year we've still been busting at the seams with dogs because it was a mild winter this year so far. We're still getting puppies in. Just had a litter of 7 beautiful Border Collie puppies. So a big wide variety to choose from here at the shelter. You know, there's really no need to go and buy a pet or get one somewhere else. Just come down to your local shelter. We're right behind the sheriff's office on South Madison Avenue, and you can always window shop for our dogs too at waltonpets.net. Also at the website, we've got a lot of helpful information about upcoming low-cost vaccine clinics and spay-neuter clinics. A lot of good information on that site as well. So 24/7 you can check out waltonpets.net. And now we'll show you some of the animals that are here right now.
This is a poodle mix, about 5 years old, male, already neutered, and we named him Huck. He's real sweet.
Hey, this is Max. Come on, buddy. He's looks like a giant beagle is what he looks like. He was turned in by his owner yesterday, so he's looking for a new home. Really no chance of him getting claimed, so it's really up to you, the doctors and rescues, to come and save him. He's about a year old, maybe a coonhound mix or a walker hound mix with a lab, something like that, but really good boy.
This is Lacey. She's about 3 years old. She's a black lab. She's already spayed. She's a really good dog. She's really full of energy and needs a really good home. And to let you also know that we do have several cats down here. We weren't able to bring them out today due to the rain. Just keep in mind, if you want a cat, we do have one that's already neutered.
This is another poodle mix, male, neutered, around 6 to 7 years old, looking for a good home.
I've got a female Pekingese. She's about 9 years old. She's already spayed, and her name is Pika.
This is Oakley. He's a 100% purebred Walton County mutt. He's about 3 or 4 months old and ready for a good home. Don't ask what breed, because we don't really know.
We got a female chocolate lab mix. She's probably about 4 or 5 months old. She's very sweet and needs a good home.
Creative Signs, we make large and small property and business signs, full color, digitally printed banners, as well as vinyl lettered ones for celebrating special events. Yard signs for selling your home or making special announcements like your graduating senior. Turn your vehicle into a moving billboard with vehicle lettering or magnetics. Creative Signs, Monroe, 770-267-7368.
Fetch boy! Where did all this trash come from?
That was a good one.
Good game, man.
I heard each year that one person throws away enough trash to equal the weight of 8 baby elephants.
I heard recycling just one Sunday newspaper could nearly save 75,000 trees. Help your community out.
Keep Walton beautiful.
Keep Walton beautiful.
Keep Walton beautiful.
To be a Keep Walton Beautiful volunteer, call 770-267-1421 or check out our website at waltoncountyga.gov/KWB.